Good morning, everybody. Let's talk about non immigrant visas. The real totals of non immigrant visas. You know, since about 2007, I think it was, I started to Keep America at Work and I began building on this. And I've seen a lot of people come and go, and I've seen a lot of figures that I questioned. And I question them because I actually have investigated every visa total I've ever seen. But as many as you know, I'm focused right now on trying to win this Senate campaign because I think we need somebody on the inside that will demand answers using the data available. And it don't have to be my data. Matter of fact, I'll show you that here in just a minute. First, let's get the housekeeping out of the way. Name's Virgil Beersel. Senate campaign site is vbsenate.com. I could use your help, folks. We need to beat Cornyn and Paxton so we can talk about jobs. Jobs for Texans, jobs for Americans. As always, you can email me at vbeers@gmail.com. My website, guestworkervisas.com. You want to buy it? I'll sell it to you. I need some money so I can do more. Looking for good paying jobs, just like that banner behind my head says. Vote for Virgil the Jobs Guy. vbsenate.com, there's my number. You can text me. Don't call me because I won't answer it. Not unless you leave a message, and then I might. Now, what I want to talk about today about data. Like I say, I've been building data sites for, I don't know, since 2007, I guess. And I've always focused on the numbers that nobody else seems willing to talk about. I'm so glad to see when another American comes up and analyzes the data in their own mind, their own method, their own privacy, and comes up with the same total. It just tickles the hell out of me. Anyway, today there's a news site that's come online. I've never seen it before. Just saw it a couple minutes ago. It's called U.S. Visa Migration Flows. It's at visadata.org. I don't know the guy well. I've talked to him. I think he's running for office that produced this. I am so glad to see that he did it. Now, like I say, I've never really seen it before, so I don't know what the whole thing is. From 1997 to 2024, he says we've issued 204 million visas. 11 million is the latest year in fiscal 2024. Yeah, I agree 100% because that's what my totals show. Peak year was fiscal year 2024. That's last year, folks. Average annual 7.3 million. I would have thought it was about 6 million. So I'm like to say his total is more accurate. Shows you a picture of all that. If you haven't looked at the site, you need to go check it out. The great replacement is real. Phase one, immediate, day one, immediate freeze on all visas. I concur 100%. That'd be 774,000 American opportunities protected immediately. I agree with that. Phase two, hey, he taxed on some fees on all visas, it looks like. You'll have to go read it because I'm just skimming it right now, folks. Phase three, long term, complete elimination. I agree 100%. 5 million plus American jobs restored, 50 billion wage recovery, 100% American priority. Go, Nick, go. Visa pathways, student to work line. Look at here, and these, I like this. Yeah, it works just like mine did. You can turn the totals on and off. Okay, that's what I want to say. That's good. That's good. Hell of a job, Nick. Hell of a job. This beats hands down any of the stuff I've been doing because I'm too damn busy focused on other things. I am so glad to see this. Yes, sir, Bob. That's interesting. So far, I am very pleased. Folks, if you haven't seen this, country analysis. Oh, we know what's happening there. Yep. Asia, 3 million. Europe, 241,000. Yep. Good deal. Good deal. Specialized visas. Okay, the athletes and all that. Oh, one entertainment, yeah. President Trump, you need to get off your ass and spend some time looking at this. And grab that guy Lutnick, that used car salesman. Grab him by the ear and drag him along because he don't understand this stuff. India's monopolization of American jobs, 85%. I can believe that. Sure can. Hell of a deal, Nick. That's all I want to cover that right now because let's get back to the totals, to what's happening. Folks, you say you can't find jobs, but you won't take the time to understand why. So how do you expect to fight it? The other day I released a video showing how many jobs are created. I want you to think about why that's the number one thing you should be focused on. Would you get in your car and drive from New York City to Los Angeles, California with $20 in your name and all you had to your name? Hell no, you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't get outside of the city very far. The number of jobs created is the same thing. If we create 1.5 million jobs, that's all we have available for that year. If we issue 11 million non-guest worker visas for people to come over here and work, which is not, that's not happening. We are issuing about 1.8 million in 2024. That means 300,000 Americans won't find work. You understand it? It's a one for one deal. Think like you got a 55-gallon trash can and you put 1.5 million marbles in it. And every time you hire somebody, you take one of those marbles out. When you get down to the bottom of the bucket, there ain't no more marbles to take out, which means there ain't no more jobs to be filled. Even if you still have workers needing jobs. Every single one. Whether it be on an H-1B, an H-4, an EAD, a OPT, F-1, J-1, anyone takes the job away from American. And if you issue more jobs than you created jobs, does that create our homeless people? Now, a lot of people will say our homeless people, they're beyond help, they're druggies and all that. The question is, were they decent, hard-working people before society spit on them and shit on them? Because what I know from my own experience, when you get forced out, the government ain't coming to help. Ain't nobody going to come out. All these city organizations, they won't come to help you. So what'll happen is you end up on the street underneath a rock somewhere. And finally, eventually, you give up. You got nowhere to turn to. So you turn to booze or drugs or whatever. Whatever floats your boat, whatever helps you deal with the pain. And you gradually disintegrate. Yeah, we want to blame the people that are homeless. We should be blaming the employers that made them homeless. The politicians that enabled the employers to make them homeless. We don't focus enough on the employers and the politicians and the media that is enabling all this. We need to focus more on these employers. I personally would like to see their name and face and their number of people they've deprived of jobs on every milk carton in the world. Now, since we don't use milk cartons no more, I would settle for billboards at their country club, at their favorite restaurant. in their neighborhood where they live, on their privacy fence. I'd love to see that. The employers think that they got us by the balls. They are so wrong. Back in 2014, I think it was a guy named Nick Hanauer produced a TED Talk saying the pitchforks are coming. It's worse now than it's ever been. Well, about a year and a half ago, you got some guy named Luigi shot the CEO. Terrible thing. He shouldn't have done that. But I understand why he did it. And I understand why it continues to grow worse. We have our employers out there that are creating all these fake and fictitious jobs so they can keep their employees with their nose to the grindstone. They want them to fear the employer for making them unemployed. What kind of society is that? How is that good for us? They basically want to make it all for the employer and none for thee? Bullshit. We outnumber millions to one. When are we going to stand up and start demanding that these employers be held accountable? I hear people bitch all the time about you should pay your student loans. But they're ignorant of the fact that these employers sent their jobs overseas and imported guest workers to take the remaining jobs so that people can't find work to pay their student loans. You got these dumbasses like that Cornyn, Senator Cornyn out there that I'm running against, who have done everything. It don't take any amount of research. You Google Howdy Modi, Abbott, and Cornyn, and you'll see Abbott and Cornyn smiling all the way to the bank. Why? Because they're bringing workers in to take your jobs. And then they're using the taxpayer money to pay the contractors who will not hire Americans to work on Texas state projects. And this is happening in every state and at the federal level as well. But your senator, rather than standing up and being a man and saying, oh shit, I messed up. They say, if you don't get off your couch and go find a job, we're going to take away your Medicaid, your food stamps, anything else you need to survive on. And the American people, through their ignorance, are cheering them on. Say, make them lazy bastards get up and get a job. Problem is, anybody that spends the time studying understands there ain't no jobs to be had. Very few out there. And it's getting worse. I've seen it get worse in the last year than I have in the previous 21 years. Now you got Trump up there being a blowhard again. Oh, we're going to fire all government workers as soon as we have this government shutdown this week or whenever it is. He sees you as a bargaining chip. He sees you as a pawn in his game to get the government to do what he wants them to do. And if he wins, you'll get your job back. Might miss a few payments on your car or your house or whatever. But you'll get your job back because he's fair. And he brags that he's all for America and Americans. He's all about MAGA. Yet if you look around, each and every one of you can't buy an interview. He comes out and says, I'm going to charge $100,000 a head for these visa workers. But then his press secretary issues a release saying, we didn't mean that. This is only for the new ones coming in next year. Fuck all that shit. You need jobs. You need somebody like Virgil the Jobs guy on your side. And I can't get in there unless you vote for me or help raise the dollar a piece, $1 million, $5 million, whatever it takes to go fight these bastards head to head, toe to toe in the media. We've got the ammunition. We just need the ability. You've got to decide what's important to you. If you're happy with the way things are, keep on keeping on, man. If you're not, we can beat these bastards. But we have to believe we can. As always, Virgil Bearsall, you can reach me at vbsenate.com. You can email me at vbearsall@gmail.com. My own personal website is guestworkervisas.com. This site here I want you to look at, give it your utmost attention. It's called visadata.org. VISADATA.org. Check it out. You're looking for good paying jobs? Vote for Virgil, the Jobs Guy. There again is my Senate website. I need your help, folks, desperately. We need to beat these bastards. I issued a press release yesterday. Will that make any difference? Will it help spread the word? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But Texas needs to stand up like the nation it is and send a message to Washington, D.C. and to Governor Abbott and Senator Cornyn and Senator Cruz and all the congressional representatives from Texas and say, fuck you. We want to put Texans back to work in Texas. Thank you. Goodbye.